The front door creaked open like a bad omen, and there she was. My Kinsey, tangled in Ember's arms on the living room couch. Their lips locked in a kiss that shattered the world I just dragged myself back into. I dropped my duffel bag right there in the entryway, the thud echoing like a gunshot in the humid Florida air. But they didn't even flinch until I whispered, "What the actual hell?" Time froze, the kind of freeze where your heart hammers so loud you swear the whole damn beach outside can hear it. And in that split second I realized home wasn't the sanctuary I'd imagined, it was the crime scene of my own undoing. West Palm Beach hadn't changed a bit since I'd bolted for New York 5 years ago. The same salty breeze off the intracoastal. The same pastel condos hugging the waterfront like they were afraid to let go. The same relentless sun baking everything into a golden haze. I'd grown up in a modest bungalow on the edge of El Cid. The kind of neighborhood where retirees sipped mimosas on verandas and families like mine pretended their cracks weren't showing. Mom and Dad had passed within a year of each other. Cancer for him, a drunk driver for her. And after that, Ember and I had sold the place and scattered. She'd stayed local, bartending at a dive on Clematis Street, chasing sunsets and bad decisions. I'd chased dreams, or at least that's what I told myself when the city chewed me up. Kinsey was supposed to be the dream that stuck. We met at a gallery opening in Soho, her red curls catching the light like wildfire, her laugh cutting through the pretentious chatter like a lifeline. She was 30 to my 28, a graphic designer with a tattoo of a compass on her wrist. "Because I always find my way back," she'd said, and eyes that green you'd swear were edited in post. We built a life in a walk-up in Brooklyn. Sunday brunches at that hole-in-the-wall with the killer eggs Benedict, late nights sketching ideas on napkins, whispering futures under threadbare sheets. But New York has a way of grinding romance into dust. The fights started small, her long hours, my freelance gigs drying up, then escalated to accusations, silences that stretched like the Hudson at low tide. "You're suffocating me, Alex," she'd said one rainy April night, her voice cracking like thunder. "I need space to breathe." So I gave it to her. Packed a single bag, sublet my half of the lease, and fled south on a Greyhound. The kind of impulsive escape that feels heroic until the bus hits Florida traffic. Home was the only place I could think to go. Ember's spare room in her rented cottage off Flagler Drive, the one she'd been nagging me to crash in since the folks died. "Family's all you've got left, sis," she'd texted last week, right after I'd spilled the breakup over a blurry video call. "Come heal by the ocean. Margaritas on me." I'd laughed then, picturing us like old times, building sandcastles at Peanut Island, stealing Dad's truck for midnight drives along a 1A, blasting Indigo Girls until the speakers blew. But as I stood in the doorway now, the duffel at my feet a pathetic anchor, the living room spun like I'd chugged a pint of cheap rum. Kinsey pulled back first, her face draining of color. Those green eyes widening in a mix of horror and something sharper, guilt? Defiance. Ember untangled herself slower, her blonde hair a messy halo from the couch cushions, her tank top askew like she'd just rolled out of bed. At 26 she was the baby of the family, all long limbs and easy smiles, the one who'd always gotten away with everything because she made you want to forgive her on sight. "Alex?" she breathed, scrambling to her feet, hands fluttering like she could wave this away. "Oh God, you're early. I mean shit, we weren't expecting." "Expecting what?" My voice came out raw, scraped from the 12-hour ride and the betrayal clawing up my throat. I couldn't look at Kinsey, not yet. Her perfume, jasmine and sea salt, hit me like a wave, the same one that used to cling to my pillows. "This? You too? How long, Ember? How goddamn long?" Kinsey stood now, smoothing her sundress with hands that trembled just enough to notice. "Alex, listen, it's not what it looks like. Or, it is, but it's complicated." Her voice, that soft southern lilt she'd picked up from her Savannah roots, twisted the knife deeper. Complicated. The word we'd thrown at each other like grenades in our last fight. Ember stepped between us, her bare feet silent on the faded hardwood. "Sis, please. Sit down. Let me explain." She reached for my arm, but I jerked back, the motion sending a jolt through my shoulder, the same one I'd tweaked hauling boxes in the city. The bungalow was small, cluttered with Ember's thrift store finds. A saga leather couch, shelves of dog-eared paperbacks, a half-dead fiddle leaf fig by the window overlooking the canal. Sunlight slanted through the blinds, turning dust motes into tiny accusations. Outside, a pelican dove for fish, oblivious. I laughed, a brittle sound that echoed off the seashell wind chimes on the porch. Explain? 'Kay, sure. Start with why my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, shows up on my sister's doorstep the second I'm gone. Or wait, no, start with the part where you both decided family loyalty was optional. It spilled out then, the ugly truth, pieced together in fits and starts over lukewarm coffee and mismatched mugs. Ember had met Kinsey at a beach bonfire 6 months back. Pre-breakup, but only just. I'd mentioned her in passing during one of our sisterly calls, gushing about the woman who made me believe in forever. Ember, ever the connector, had spotted her at a queer open mic on South Dixie, nursing a beer and sketching strangers. She looked lost, Ember said, eyes downcast, twisting a coaster into shreds. I bought her a drink, told her about you. Said you were the strongest person I knew. Kinsey nodded, her curls bobbing like they were trying to escape. I was already pulling away, Alex. The distance, the fights, it was killing us. Ember. She reminded me of you, but lighter. Freer. When you left, I didn't plan this. I came down for a weekend to clear my head, and one thing led to my couch. I finished, the coffee turning sour in my gut. To my family. The bungalow felt smaller, the walls pressing in with memories. Ember and me as kids finger-painting murals of mermaids on these very boards. Mom's laughter from the kitchen, Dad's grill smoke wafting through open screens. Now it reeked of intrusion, of lines crossed in the sand. That first night, I slept on the lumpy pullout in the den, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, the humid air thick with unspoken rage. Jet lag from the emotional whiplash kept me tossing, replaying the kiss in my head like a glitchy film reel. By dawn, the canal outside shimmered with pink light, egrets stalking the mangroves like silent judges. I slipped out for a run along the waterfront path, pounding pavement past the mansions of Palm Beach, the kind with gates that screamed, "Stay out." Sweat stung my eyes, but it couldn't wash away the ache. The betrayal wasn't just Kenzie's, it was Ember's too. My little sister, the one who'd held me after Mom's funeral, promising we'd always have each other's backs. How'd it always shrink to this? Back home, they were tiptoeing around like I'd shatter if they breathed wrong. Kenzie had her laptop open on the kitchen table, freelancing logos for some local winery, her compass tattoo peeking from her sleeve like a lie. Ember flipped pancakes at the stove, humming off-key to a country playlist, something about whiskey and wild women that felt too on the nose. "Morning, Alex," she ventured, sliding a plate my way. "Blueberry. Your favorite." Pushed it back. "Not hungry." My phone buzzed. A text from an old college buddy, Mia, offering drinks at the Blind Monk later. "Girls' night," she'd called it, code for drown your sorrows in Pinot. I typed back yes, anything to escape this pressure cooker. As I showered, scalding water rinsing the city grime and last night's tears, I heard their voices murmur from the kitchen, low, urgent, laced with that intimacy that used to be mine. "She hates me now," Kenzie said, voice muffled through the door. "Us." "She doesn't hate you," Ember replied, soft as sea glass. "She's hurt. Give her time." Time. As if time fixed a knife in the ribs. By the time I emerged, towel-dried hair dripping onto my tank, they were playing it cool. Kinsey buried in her screen, Ember scrolling Insta for brunch spots. "I'm out," I announced, grabbing keys to Ember's ancient Civic. "Don't wait up." The drive to Clematis Street blurred through tears I refused to let fall. West Palm at midday was alive. Tourists in flip-flops dodging street performers, the palm fronds rustling like applause for lives unscarred. The Blind Monk was a cozy nook, exposed brick and hanging ferns, the kind of place where secrets spilled easier than wine. Mia was already there, her pixie-cut dyed electric blue since last we'd zoomed, waving from a corner booth with 2 glasses sweating condensation. "Alex freaking Rivera as I live and breathe." She pulled me into a hug that smelled like vanilla and victory, her 29-year-old energy a balm against the storm. We'd bonded at UF over bad poetry and better parties, her coming-out story mirroring mine. Awkward family dinners, that first tentative kiss under stadium lights. "Spill. What's got you hightailing it back to the armpit of Florida?" I ordered a cab sauve, the tart bite grounding me, and let it pour. The breakup, the bus ride, the couch kiss apocalypse. Mia's eyes narrowed over her rimless glasses, her freckled nose wrinkling in sympathy. "Your sister? With Kenzie? Jesus, that's some soap opera shit. You okay?" "No." "Yes. A mess of both. I don't know. Feels like they stole my map. Like I don't know north anymore. She clinked her glass to mine. Then redraw it. Start with this. Tonight we're dancing. No exes, no sisters, just us reclaiming the night. We did. The bar filled with the afterwork crowd. Queer folks mostly, laughing loud to drown out the week's grind. A DJ spun indie tracks with a tropical twist, steel drums over synth beats, and soon Mia had me on the makeshift floor. Hips swaying to Halsey, arms thrown wide like I could shake off the weight. For an hour it worked. The betrayal blurred into bass lines, Kinsey's face fading behind strobe lights. A woman with sun-kissed skin and a fade haircut bought me around, her smile easy, her hand brushing mine accidental on purpose. You look like you needed that, she said, voice low over the music. I did, I admitted, the admission freeing something knotted in my chest. But as midnight crept in, my phone lit up. Ember. Where are you? Kinsey's worried. Come home? Worried. The word landed like salt in a fresh cut. I silenced it, ordered another round. Mia raised a brow. Tell me you're not going back to that circus. Not tonight. But the pull was there, insidious as the tide, dragging me toward the shore I knew too well. By 2 a.m. the bar emptied. Mia hugging me goodbye with a promise of beach yoga tomorrow. The Civic's headlights cut through fog rolling off the water as I wound home. The radio murmuring Lana Del Rey, ironic, heartbreaking. The bungalow glowed soft from the porch light, a silhouette in the kitchen window. Ember alone nursing tea like a penance. She opened the door before I knocked, her face puffy from crying. I thought you'd bailed for good. Tempting. I brushed past, the screen door slapping shut. The air inside was cooler, scented with chamomile and regret. Sit, she said, gesturing to the table. Kinsey's laptop was gone. Packed away or fled? Just us. Please. We sat, the wood groaning under our weight, two sisters bridged by silence. Ember poured from a chipped teapot, steam curling like ghosts. It started innocent. After you left, she called me, panicking, needing a friend's ear. I flew her down for the weekend. We walked the pier, talked about you, about how much she missed your fire. One night, after too many IPAs at Rapunzel's, she kissed me. I kissed back. It was electric, Alex. Wrong, but electric. Wrong, I echoed, the word a punch. You knew that, and you did it anyway. Her eyes, blue as the Gulf on a calm day, filled. I did. And I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. You're my everything. You and me against the world. Since we were kids stealing oranges from Mrs. Hargrove's yard. I never meant to hurt you like this. The dam broke then, tears hot on my cheeks, hers mirroring. We cried for the family we'd lost. For the love I'd buried in a city too big. For the betrayal that felt like amputation. Why her? I whispered finally, voice hoarse. Of all people. Because she was broken like me, Ember said simply. And because I thought you were gone for good. Dawn crept in as we talked, the canal waking with first light, a lone fisherman casting lines. By the time Kinsey's car crunched gravel in the drive, back from a dawn yoga class, her routine as predictable as the sunrise, we'd forged a fragile truce. Not forgiveness, not yet, but a crack in the armor. She paused in the doorway, takeout coffee in hand, sensing the shift. Morning, she said tentatively, green eyes searching mine. Morning, I replied, the word neutral, a bridge over churning water. The days blurred into an uneasy rhythm. I crashed in the den, claiming it as my war room. Laptop open to job hunts, sketchpad filled with half-formed designs for a local ad agency. Ember worked afternoons at the bar, leaving the house to Kinsey and me in charged silence. We'd nod over cereal, exchange weather small talk, storms brewing out east. But underneath simmered the what-ifs, the could-have-beens. One evening, as thunder rumbled distant, she caught me on the porch, sketching the lightning-split sky. That's beautiful, she said, settling beside me on the swing, her thigh inches from mine. The air crackled, not just from the storm. Used to be our thing, I murmured, pencil pausing. Storm watching. She nodded, curls damp from the mist. I miss that Alex. The one who saw beauty in the chaos. I miss the Kinsey who stayed through it. The swing creaked, time stretching thin. Her hand found mine, tentative, and for a heartbeat I let it, old habits dying hard. But then Ember's truck pulled up, headlights slicing the dark, and I pulled away. Not like this, I said, standing. Not while she's here. She deflated but nodded. Fair. Week 2 hit like a heat wave, the kind that turns West Palm into a steam bath, air so thick you could wring it out. I landed a freelance gig. Mock-ups for a boutique hotel on South Ocean Boulevard. Enough to keep the wolf from the door and my mind from the abyss. Mornings, I'd bike to the library on Royal Palm Way, holing up in the AC with my tablet, ignoring the flirtatious barista's winks. Afternoons were for the beach, body surfing waves that pounded like my pulse, salt erasing the city's residue. Evenings, that's when the real work began. Navigating the minefield of shared spaces, stolen glances, and the ghost of what was. Ember tried, God did she try. She'd leave notes on the fridge. Veggie stir-fry in the crock-pot. Love you. Or drag me to sunset sails on the Lady Pam, the catamaran bobbing gentle off the marina, where we'd sip rose and pretend we were just sisters again. Remember when Dad taught us to tie bowlines? She'd say, her laugh forcing lightness as dolphins arced in our wake. I'd nod, the memory bittersweet. His calloused hands guiding ours, Mom snapping pics from the dock. But under the sail's snap, resentment festered. How could she rebuild on my ruins? And Kinsey hovered like humidity, her presence a constant low hum. One sticky Tuesday, I came home early from a client meet at the square, arms laden with grocer bags, fresh grouper from the market, limes for ceviche, a peace offering of sorts. The cottage door was ajar, laughter spilling out like spilled wine. I froze on the threshold, bags crinkling in my grip. There they were in the kitchen. Ember perched on the counter, legs swinging, Kinsey between them, hands on her hips, mid-story about a disastrous pitch in Miami. And then the client says, make it pop more like dude. It's a logo for artisanal cheese, not fireworks. Ember snorted, head thrown back, then leaned down to kiss her, quick, affectionate, the kind that said this is normal now. My stomach twisted, the grouper turning to lead. I must have made a sound because they sprang apart, Kinsey's cheeks flushing crimson. Alex, you're back. Observant. I set the bags down harder than intended, glass jars clinking. Ember slid off the counter, wiping her hands on a towel, her smile faltering. Hey, perfect timing. We were just flirting in my kitchen? Yeah, I caught the show. The words lashed out, sharper than I meant, but the hurt fueled them. I turned to the sink, rinsing peppers under cold water, the spray masking the shake in my hands. Kinsey stepped closer, voice low. Don't do this. We're trying to be adults here. Adults. I spun, water dripping from my fingers. Adults don't screw their girlfriend's sister the minute the ink's dry on the breakup papers. Ember winced, crossing her arms. Alex, that's not. Isn't it? I rounded on her, the dam cracking again. You knew how much she meant to me. You saw the texts, heard the calls when I was falling apart up north. And you what? Played comforter? Slid right in like it was your slot to fill. Her face crumpled, blonde strands sticking to damp cheeks. It wasn't like that. I was lonely too, okay? After you left for New York, it was just me here, rattling around in this house, wondering if I'd ever find someone who got the mess that is Ember Rivera. Kinsey did. She saw me. Kinsey interjected, green eyes flashing. This isn't a competition, Alex. Blame me. I crossed the line first. Oh, Ido. I met her gaze, the compass tattoo mocking me. You always said you'd find your way back. Guess your north shifted south. The kitchen went tomb silent, save for the fridge's hum and distant thunder rumbling over the Everglades. Ember's phone buzzed on the counter. A work text, probably some rowdy tourist demanding last call. She glanced at it, then at us, defeat etching lines around her eyes. I can't do this. Not if it's tearing us apart. She grabbed her keys, the jangle a death knell. Shift at the bar. Don't wait up. The door slammed, leaving Kinsey and me in the wreckage. She sank onto a stool, head in hands. I hate this. All of it. Join the club. I dried my hands, the towel rough against skin, and started chopping cilantro, mechanical, grounding. The knife's rhythm steadied me, each slice a release. Minutes ticked, the storm closer now, rain pattering the tin roof like impatient fingers. Finally she spoke, voice muffled. I never wanted to hurt you. Leaving New York. It was self-preservation. You were fire, Alex, bright, consuming. I got burned. Burned. I paused, blade hovering. We were equals in that blaze. You think I wasn't scorched too? She looked up, tears tracking freckles. I know. That's why I came here, to escape the ashes. Ember. She was sunlight. Warm without the scorch. The ceviche came together in silence, lime zest bright, onions sharp as truth. We ate on the porch as the downpour sheeted, forks scraping plates, lightning forking the sky. Remember our first storm in Brooklyn? She asked softly after a while. The one that flooded the subway? We danced in it, soaked to the bone. I swallowed a bite, fish flaky on my tongue. Yeah, felt invincible. We were. Her foot nudged mine under the table. Accidental? Testing? I didn't pull away. Maybe we can be again. Not us, but something. Friends. Co-parents to this mess. The idea landed soft, unexpected. Friends. With the woman who'd gutted me. But in the rain's hush, with Ember's absence a hollow echo, it didn't sound impossible. Maybe I allowed. Starting with you packing a bag tomorrow. This house isn't big enough for all our ghosts. She nodded, relief flickering. Fair. There's a motel on Belvedere, cheap, clean. I'll go at first light. Dawn brought sticky heat, the storm's leavings, puddles mirroring clouds, air electric with ozone. Kinsey loaded her Civic with quiet efficiency. Duffel slung over one shoulder, laptop case in hand. Ember had stumbled in at 3 a.m., reeking of tequila and tears, crashing without a word. Now she hovered in the doorway, arms crossed, watching as I helped carry a box of her art supplies. You sure about this? Ember asked Kinsey, voice thick. It's not. It's right, Kinsey cut in firm. She turned to me, green eyes steady. Thank you, Alex. For the truce. Don't thank me yet. I managed a half smile, the effort Herculean. Just go find your sunlight. She did, tires crunching away, leaving a void that hummed. Ember and I stood on the porch, waving like fools, then turned inside. The kitchen smelled of coffee, strong and black, the way Mom brewed it. Pancakes. Ember offered, tentative. Sure. We cooked side by side, elbows bumping, the silence companionable now. As batter sizzled, she bumped my shoulder. I'm sorry, Alex. For real. I love you more than. I know. I flipped a cake, golden and perfect. Love you too, Squirt. But next time you date my ex, at least spring for better hiding spots. She laughed, the sound breaking Dawn's tension, and for the first time in weeks, the bungalow felt like home again. But peace is fleeting in drama's grip. Mid-morning, as I sketched hotel comps on the lanai, my phone rang. Unknown number, Miami area code. Alex Rivera? A woman's voice, clipped, professional. Yeah. This is Detective Laura Voss, Palm Beach Sheriff's. We need you to come in. It's about your sister. My stylist clattered to the tile. Ember? What happened? Just come. Station on Gun Club Road. Now. The drive blurred, heart jackhammering, worst case reels spinning. Bar fight gone wrong, drunk drive off the bridge. The station was a squat concrete bunker. Fluorescent buzz harsh against my frayed nerves. Voss met me in a sterile interview room. Mid-40s, salt and pepper bun, eyes kind but steel-edged. Have a seat, Ms. Rivera. M's in holding. Holding. I collapsed into the chair, palms slick. For what? Is she okay? Physically? Yes. Voss slid a file across the table, photos spilling. Ember's ID, a baggie of white powder, time-stamped 4 a.m. at the Blind Monk. Possession. Your sister got pinched trying to flush this during a routine pat-down. Oxy. Street value around $5,000. The world tilted. Oxy. Ember, who'd sworn off pills after Dad's stash in the medicine cabinet, nearly took her senior year. This can't, she wouldn't. She's clean. Has been for years. Voss leaned back, sympathetic. People relapse, Alex. Stress, bad crowds. She's lawyering up, but bail's set at $10K. You got that? I didn't. Freelance scraps and a drained savings from the move. I'll figure it out. As I signed forms, the holding door buzzed, and there she was, Ember handcuffed, mascara streaked, defiant chin up. Alex, she choked, spotting me. I can explain. You'd better. But as they led her away, the echo of Kinsey's car faded in my mind, replaced by this new fracture. Sister in chains, family teetering on the brink. bail scraped together via Mia's GoFundMe magic, and a panicked call to an old aunt in Orlando. By evening, Ember was home, curled on the couch in sweats, knees to chest. I brewed chamomile, sat beside her, the space between us vast as the Atlantic. Talk, I said simply. She did, words tumbling like storm surge. The bar shift had been hell, rowdy spring breakers, a handsy regular she'd 80-60. After close stress gnawing, she'd hit up a friend from her wild days, scoring just enough to numb the guilt over Kenzie, over me. One hit, she whispered. That's all, I swore. But the dealer shorted me, cops rolled up, boom. Ember. I pulled her head to my shoulder, her sobs soaking my shirt. Why didn't you come to me? We could have talked, walked the beach, anything. You were finally thawing. After Kenzie left. I didn't want to drag you under again. Her voice muffled. I'm poison, Alex. Always have been. Bullshit. I tilted her chin, eyes locking, blue on brown, blood on blood. You're Rivera stubborn. We'll fight this. Lawyer, NA meetings, whatever. But no more secrets. She nodded, fragile promise. That night we binged the L-word marathons, laughing through tears at the melodrama mirroring our own. Dawn found us asleep, tangled, the pull out a nest of limbs and forgiveness. But betrayal's shadow lingers. 2 days later, a knock, Kenzie, rain damp from a squall, eyes stormy. I heard about Ember. From Mia. Can I help? I hesitated, door half open. How? Whatever you need. Coffee runs, moral support. I'm in this too, your family now. The word family landed loaded, but in the downpour's drum, it didn't sting. Come in, I said. But slow. We're fragile here. She did, shedding her jacket, curls frizzing wild. As she hugged Ember, brief, sisterly, I felt the first green shoot of something new. Not romance but alliance. 3 women scarred and stitching against the tide. Yet drama builds to peaks. A week on, the court date loomed, Ember's arraignment a specter. We prepped in the den, me quizzing her on timelines, Kenzie typing motions on her laptop, borrowed for the cause. Laughter crept in, tentative. Ember's bad lawyer jokes, Kenzie's impressions of stuffy judges. One evening, as fireflies blinked over the canal, Kenzie caught my eye across the table. Proud of you, she mouthed. Both. Heat rose, not just from the humid night. Thanks, I replied, the bridge strengthening. But bridges burn. The night before court, Ember vanished. Note on the fridge. Can't face it. Gone to clear head. Back soon. Love you. Panic clawed. I called, texted, paced the porch till Kenzie arrived, face ashen. We'll find her. We did, at Peanut Island, the ferry dock's end, her silhouette against moonlit waves. She sat cross-legged, journal open, pen idle. Couldn't sleep, she admitted as we approached, Kenzie's arm around my waist for support. Afraid I'll lose you both. You won't. I knelt, sand-gritting knees. We're in the foxhole, Em. All 3. She looked up, then at Kenzie, guilt flickering. Even after. Us. Kenzie crouched too, forming our triangle. Especially after. Mistakes make us human. This makes us family. Dawn broke as the ferry horn wailed, carrying us home. Bound not by blood alone but choice. Court came. Plea deal, probation, community service at a queer youth center. Ember thrived there, mentoring kids with stories like hers, fire rekindled. Months blurred, seasons shifting. Hurricanes skirting close, but we weathered. Kenzie stayed local, her own apartment, but dinners here, our dynamic evolving. Friends laced with what-ifs, Ember's blessing a quiet grace. One twilight beach walk, waves kissing ankles, she took my hand. Still north? I asked. Learning new directions, she said, squeeze warm. And me? I stayed, roots deepening in West Palm's sunbaked soil, sketching futures brighter than before. Fall crept into West Palm like a reluctant guest. Hurricane season's tail whipping fronds into frenzy, but the air cooled just enough for hoodies at bonfires. Ember's probation hummed along, weekly check-ins with a no-nonsense counselor named Rita, who chain-smoked menthols outside the office and dispensed wisdom like, relapse is a detour, not the destination. Em volunteered triple time at the youth center, her energy infectious. She'd come home buzzing about a teen named Jordan, 17 and freshly out, sketching murals of rainbow palms. Reminds me of us, she'd say, hugging me fierce. Lost girls finding color. Kinsey's motel stint stretched to a lease on a boho walk-up in Soso, steps from graffiti alleys and vegan cafes. She crashed our dinners often, bringing takeout from Rooster, spicy plantains that burn just right, and stories from her gigs. Rebranding a distillery, her compass tattoo now inked on a bottle label. Our trio settled into grooves. Movie nights with But I'm a Cheerleader quote fests. Kayaking the Loxahatchee where mangroves whispered secrets. Tension lingered, sparks in dry grass, but we fanned friendship, not flames. Me? The freelance dried into steady. Art director at the hotel? Brainstorming lobby installs that married mid-century modern with coastal kitsch. Mornings I jogged the lake trail, past Worth Avenue's whispers of wealth, sketching ideas in a battered moleskine. Afternoons blurred in meetings, evenings unwinding with a book on the dock. Egrets my silent companions. Healing wasn't linear. Nights I'd wake, Kinsey's laugh echoing from dreams, or Ember's arrest file haunting like a bad Polaroid. But progress stitched the seams. A tattoo of my own, a tiny lighthouse on my ankle. Guiding light. Mia teased during her visit, blue hair now lavender. Then Thanksgiving loomed, the holiday we'd always armored with sarcasm. Mom's turkey disasters, Dad's burnt pies. This year no folks, just us and the weight of what's next. Host. Ember suggested over breakfast, syrup dripping from her fork. Make it ours. I nodded, the bungalow's kitchen our war room. Invites went out. Mia flying down, Aunt Clara from Orlando, the one with the schnauzer obsession. A few center kids with nowhere else. Kinsey. If you want, I said, casual as adding sage to the brine. I do. Her smile crinkled eyes, green depths steady. Prep day dawn crisp, northerlies chasing clouds south. We divided tasks. Ember on pies, no baking disasters this time. Me on bird, Kinsey on sides, her cornbread dressing a Savannah heirloom, sage and sausage evoking ghosts of grandmas. Laughter laced the chaos. Flower fights, M's off-key carols to Bing Crosby on the radio, Kinsey's twangy accents mimicking Aunt Clara's drawl. As the oven hummed, I caught them in the yard, Ember stringing lights, Kinsey untangling strands, their hands brushing easy. No kiss, no couch tangle, just harmony. My chest tightened, not with jealousy now but something softer. Gratitude laced with ache. You good? Kinsey asked later, finding me on the porch with a gin and tonic, sunset bleeding orange into the canal. Yeah. I swirled ice clinking. Just. This. Feels like a miracle or a minefield. She leaned on the rail, sundress fluttering. Both probably. But I'd take it. Pause, her gaze distant. Miss the old us sometimes. The Brooklyn blaze. Me too. Honesty slipped out unbidden. But this? It's quieter fire. Sustainable. Her fingers grazed mine on the rail, electric but contained. Yeah. The feast swelled the bungalow. Mia regaling with NYC gossip, Aunt Clara's schnauzer humping a leg, classic, Jordan shyly passing pie slices. Toasts rang to resilience to chosen kin. Ember's eyes met mine across the turkey carnage. We made it. I nodded, throat full. Post-meal haze we spilled to the beach, lanterns glowing, waves a lullaby. Mia pulled me aside, lavender hair whipping. Spill on the redhead. Still X or X plus. Complicated. I laughed. But good complicated. She winked. That's the best kind. Night deepened, guests drifting, leaving our core three by the fire pit. Embers mirroring names. Ember yawned, sand in her hair. Bed. Big day tomorrow, center toy drive.
Go, you should.
She hugged us both, lingering, then vanished into the dark. Kinsey poked the fire, sparks ascending. Proud of her. Of you. Mutual. Silence settled, companionable. Then her voice softened. Alex, can we talk? For real. I nodded, flames dancing in her eyes. I've been seeing someone. The words landed soft, but they rocked me. Casual. A barista from that cafe Jade. Short tattoos, killer playlists. Oh. Air left lungs. Not pain exactly, relief? Loss? Good. You deserve that. She searched my face. Do I? After everything. Yes. Firm. We both do. Her hand found mine across the sand, squeeze brief. Friends? For keeps. For keeps. We sat then, fire crackling, stars pricking velvet sky. The ocean's roar a benediction. Winter bit gentle. Chilly fronts that begged hoodies and hot cocoa. Holiday lights threading clematis like veins. Ember's probation milestone hit. 6 months clean. Rita's gruff, "Keep it up, kid." We celebrated at the center. Kids mobbing her with hugs. Jordan gifting a mural sketch. 3 women on a boat, sails full. "Your story," she said shyly. Em framed it for the living room. My lighthouse tattoo itched less, scars fading. A promotion came, lead designer, salary bump for a studio apartment downtown, but I stayed put. The bungalow rooted me, its walls whispering stay. Kenzie's casual deepened. Jade joined dinners, her energy a whirlwind. Dreads, nose ring, stories of backpacking Patagonia. She fit, easy as tide pools, and watching Kenzie bloom, laughs freer, compass pointing true. Mended something in me. Spring unfurled wild. Dogwoods blooming pink along Federal, sailboats dotting the horizon. One azure morning Mia texted. "Weekend away? Key West. You mean no drama?" I countered. "At Em and Kenzie? Girls trip." She agreed, and we piled into a rental convertible. Top down, wind whipping, playlist blasting KD Lang. The drive south was therapy. Conch fritters in Isla Morada, snorkeling reefs where parrotfish darted jewel bright. Evenings on Duval, bar hopping the Sunset Strip. Hands linked in crowds, no explanations needed. Key West's end-of-world vibe cracked us open. One night, post-conch salad and too many mojitos, we sprawled on a pier, feet dangling over ink-black water. "Truth or truth?" Mia decreed, buzzed philosopher. Ember. "What's your biggest fear?" Kenzie. "Losing this." Us. Jade. "Being the rebound no one remembers." Me. "Waking up alone, wondering if I ever really loved." Silence, then Mia. "Bull. You loved fierce." "Still do." Tears mixed with salt spray. Hugs fierce as the Gulf Stream. Back in the bungalow by Easter, tanned and transformed, I started dating slow, tentative. A potter from the center, Lena, 32, with clay-flecked hands and a laugh like wind chimes. Coffee turned to kayaks, her stories of Kilimanjaro climbs mirroring my city scrambles. Kenzie met her first, over brunch at Avocado Grill. Thumbs up, genuine. "She sees you," she whispered later. "Like I did." Ember orchestrated a family bonfire. Minus Jade, who had a shift, for my birthday. 30, the big 3-0, marked with esmeraldas and sparklers on the beach. As flames died, Em pulled me aside, necklace in hand. A silver wave pendant, mom's. "For the girl who rides the swells." I clasped it, throat tight. "Love you, squirt. Love you more." But life's script twists. June brought the call. Aunt Clara, stage 4, hospice in Orlando. We drove up, the turnpike a ribbon of grief, Kenzie shotgun navigating, Ember and I in back holding hands. Clara went gentle, surrounded by schnauzer pics and our stories, her laugh fading to sighs. At the funeral, rain slick cemetery green as envy. Ember broke, sobs racking as we lowered the box. Kenzie held her, I held them both, the 3 of us a knot against unraveling. Back home, the bungalow echoed empty. Nights we'd gather on the porch, rocking chairs creaking, sharing Clara tales. Her jello salads, the time she crashed a drag brunch in drag. Laughter came, healing's crooked path. One storm-lashed evening, power out, candles guttering, Kenzie confessed. "Jade and I. It's over. She wants nomad life. I'm rooted here. I'm sorry." I poured wine from a box, plastic cups clinking. "Don't be. It was good practice. For this." Gesture encompassing us, the flicker-lit room. "For what?" "Whatever's next. With someone who stays." Her eyes held mine, question unspoken. Heart stuttered, "Old flames? New?" "Kenzie." "Not now," she said, wise. "When it's right." July 4th boomed. Fireworks over the water, crowds on Peanut Island. We picnicked, Lena joining shy, her hand in mine as bursts painted sky. Ember and Kenzie danced barefoot to a boombox, silhouettes joyful. Watching, Wavecrest peace settled. Betrayal's scar tissue strong, flexible. But climax crests unbidden. August heat peaked. Ember's 1 year clean celebrated with Rita's barbecue. Grill smoke thick, kids splashing the kiddie pool. Joy hummed until Jordan pulled Em aside, face ashen. "My folks found out. About me. Kicked me out." Em's jaw set. "Stay with us. Couch is yours." We cleared space, Jordan's duffel thumping the den floor that night. Teens are tempests, mood swings, midnight confessions, art supplies everywhere. But she bloomed, interning at my hotel, sketches turning lobby walls vibrant. Then the bomb. Ember's ex-dealer, a wiry ghost named Trey, surfaced at the bar. Old debt, he snarled, cornering her post-shift. 5K or names drop. Panic call at 1 a.m. Alex, he's got dirt on the oxy on everything. Says he'll tip the judge. We huddled in the kitchen. Kinsey's laptop open to legal forums, Lena brewing tea. Pay him off. I suggested. No, Kinsey snapped. Confront. Record it. Cops.
Ember peeled.
What if he? We got you. My hand on hers, steel. Dawn raid. We met Trey at a deserted lot off Okeechobee. Phone live streaming to Mia's contact at the sheriff's. He sneered, bandana low, but as Kinsey bluffed evidence. We know your supplier, plates traced, his bluff cracked. Sirens wailed distant. He bolted, but Voss's team nabbed him blocks away. Blackmail charges stuck. Ember's record sealed tighter. Aftermath. Hugs in the station lot. Sun rising gold. My heroes. Em breathed, Jordan waiting in the car with takeout breakfast. You're the brave one, I countered. Fall circled back, cooler breaths. Jordan thrived, college apps and murals commissioned. Lena and I deepened, weekends antiquing in Del Rey. Her kiln-forged ring on my finger by Christmas, simple silver band. Kinsey. She found North and a teacher named Riley, tall bookish with a rescue pup named Scout. Their first double date with Lena and me? Awkward laughs over sushi, but by dessert stories flowed seamless. One New Year's bungalow aglow, we toasted on the dock. Em and Jordan clinking cider. Lena's arm around me. Kinsey and Riley feeding each other grapes. Fireworks popped distant, but ours burned steady. To detours, I said. To home, Kinsey echoed. And in that circle betrayals echo faint. We were whole, human, scarred, luminous. The new year unfolded like a well-worn map. Creases smoothed by time and tide. West Palm's winter was benevolent. Mornings crisp enough for beanies. Afternoons warming to shirt sleeves. The lake trail alive with cyclists chasing horizons. Jordan settled into the den like she'd always been there. Her sketches papering walls. Abstract waves in teal and coral. A portrait of Ember midlaugh that captured her light unerring. College acceptances piled, essayed for art, full ride. And her goodbye party in May was a tear-soaked affair on the beach, lanterns floating heavenward like prayers. Your family, Ember whispered, hugging her fierce as waves lapped farewell. Always a room here. Jordan nodded, eyes bright. You gave me mine. Lena and I marked anniversaries quiet. A weekend in the Keys, conch shells collected, her potter's hands shaping sandcastles that outlasted tides. You're my clay, she'd murmur, kissing collarbones under hammock sway. Steady, she grounded me. No blaze but hearth warm. Kinsey's Riley brought balance too. Their pup Scout a whirlwind of paws and play, dinners dissolving into fetch games in the yard. Ember? She graduated probation with Rita's bear hug endorsement, parlaying center work into a full-time role. Youth coordinator, her energy a beacon. Saving my younger self, she'd quip, but her eyes shone purpose. Yet undercurrents stir. Spring rain swelled the canals, mirroring moods. One drizzly April eve, Kinsey called, voice-edged, rare crack. Can we talk? Alone. We met at the Blind Monk, the bar's brick walls a confessional hush. She nursed a seltzer, curls tamed in a bun, green eyes turbulent. Riley proposed. The words hung, fizzy bubbles bursting. Congrats. Genuine but gut twist. She's lucky. Kinsey toyed with her straw. I said yes. But, doubts gnawing. Like I'm settling for safe when I crave storm. Ah. I sipped my IPA foam bitter. The old US. She nodded, gaze dropping. Missed that pull. You were chaos I chased. And you were the map I followed. Honesty unvarnished. But we redrew lines. For good reasons. I know. Silong. Riley steady, picnics, lesson plans, scouts walks. But with you. Even now sparks. The air thickened, charged as pre-storm static. My thumb traced glass condensation. Sparks don't build houses. We learned that. Wise Alex. Smile Rye. What if? Hypothetically. We explored? As adults. Noreki. Temptation tugged, old current. But Lena's ring glinted in memory. Embers trust a fragile bloom. Can't. Won't risk what we've built. She deflated then rallied, compass true. Right. Friends first. We clinked glasses, packed renewed, the what-if shelved gentle. Summer scorched in, tourists flooding like high tide. The bungalow hosted barbecues. Mia's annual invasion, bringing city tales and a new girlfriend. Tattooed chef with a fire for fusion. Aunt Clara's absence echoed, but we honored her. Schnauzer donation to the shelter. Jello molds retired with laughs. Ember started dating. A surfer named Taylor, sun-bleached and soft-spoken, who taught her board balance on Singer Island swells. Wipeouts included. Em joked, bruises blooming like badges. Watching her paddle out, fearless, mended my last grudge fragments. My world widened too. Hotel project ballooned. A queer arts fest tie-in, murals and installations celebrating hidden histories. Jordan contributed remotely, her SAD freshman sketches winging south. Lena's gallery show in July, bowls glazed ocean deep, drew crowds. I curated the invite list, pride swelling as buyers cooed. Climax brewed subtle. September's tail-end hurricane, Ida, they named her, barreled close, evac orders flashing screens. We boarded windows, filled tubs, hunkered with wine and worries. Power flickered out at midnight, wind howling banshee, rain sheeting like judgment. In the dark, candles guttering, phones died one by one. Ember clutched Taylor's hand. Lena mine. Kenzie and Riley arrived last, Scout whining at thunder, piling sleeping bags in the den. Safety in numbers, Kenzie quipped, but eyes sought mine, anchoring gale. As gusts rattled shutters, stories spilled. Childhood fears lost, loves, dreams deferred. Riley confessed stage fright before classes. Taylor, ocean phobias despite boards. Ember admitted the Oxy Night's abyss. Thought I'd drown you all. Vulnerability circled, binding. Then crack. Branched through the lanai glass, shards tinkling like ice. We surged, tarps and tape, wind whipping faces. Kenzie and I wrestled plywood, rain lashing, her laugh defiant over roar. Teamwork makes the dream work. Or nightmare. I yelled back but grinned, alive in storm. Ida veered east by dawn, leaving frond-strewn power lines snapped. But the bungalow stood, glass-patched, spirits unbroken. Cleanup bonded deeper. Chainsaw crews of us hauling debris to curbs, neighbors converging with coffee and casseroles. In the hush after sun-piercing clouds, Kenzie found me on the dock, feet in water. That was something. Yeah. Mud caked my jeans but peace settled. Glad you're here. Me too. Her shoulder bumped mine, platonic now profound. Wherever north leads. Fall gilded leaves, Thanksgiving redux without Clara's shadow, new traditions. Jordan zooming in, Mia's chef whipping turducken. Toasts to survival, to sisters by blood and bond. Winter solstice brought revelation. Riley's wedding planning hit snag. Her folks, conservative holdouts, balking at the alternative ceremony. Kenzie confided over porch cocoa, steam curling. They love her but fear change. Like I feared losing you. Talk to them, I urged. Show the map. She did, flew north, Riley in tow, emerging with teary calls. They're coming. With caveats but coming. Spring wedding on the beach. White tents flapping gentle, vows exchanged under palms, Scout ring bearer in bow tie. I stood up with Kenzie, Lena beside, Ember officiant, her words poetic, tear-jerking. Love isn't straight lines, she said, eyes twinkling. It's detours, storms, the courage to rebuild. As rice rained, eco-friendly per Riley, Kenzie hugged me fierce. Thank you. For everything. Always. Years layered. Jordan graduated, mural unveiling at the fest. Us in front row cheering hoarse. Ember and Taylor bought a fixer in Northwood. Renovation's a joyful mess. Lena and I married quiet courthouse, then reef dive. Rings exchanged underwater. Bubbles sealing promises. Kenzie's family grew. Adoption papers for a foster kid. A boy with her green eyes and Riley's curiosity. Dinners swelled, chaos cherished. Decades mark. Bungalow sold, proceeds splitting 3 ways. Ember's down payment. My studio with Lena. Kenzie's family expansion fund. Last night there, empty rooms echoing, we gathered one final time, wine wistful. To roots, Ember toasted. To wings, Kenzie added. I raised glass, wave pendant glinting. To home, wherever we find it. Outside, West Palm whispered eternal. Palms rustling benediction, canal lapping lullaby. Betrayal's scar? Faint silver story's spine. We'd move through fire emerged luminous human whole loved. In the end not tragic fall but graceful rise. Sisters mending, love's layering. A tapestry woven from threads torn and retied. And in Florida's endless sun we walked on north ever shifting but together.